Welcome to episode 381 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering, whether you're sitting in your home playing some Arena on your computer or you're sitting in your home playing some cardboard Magic against people who are also in your home.
Or in other homes, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Or in other homes. Point is, you're in your home.
I'm one of your hosts in their home, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, also in my own home, and my name is Meghan.
And on today's show, we are going to give you an update about what we have been playing on the ladder on Arena and how it has been working for us, because I personally have found some success, Meghan.
That's right. We were on yesterday. You know, I'm on just living my little draft life, as you do. And I see Maria pop up, and she's like, do you know what? I've been playing this deck. I'm finally in Platinum. And I was like, send it over, because I've been in Plat 4 for like weeks. It's just the purgatory where I am stuck.
Here's the thing, Meghan. We're finally, you know, like we've got time. We're social distancing.
Yes.
I'm like, this is the month. I am going to be Mythic this month.
Dang. Set those goals.
Maria's Mythic Month. There you go.
All right.
Hashtag Maria's Mythic Month. It's happening this month. The season, I should say. And you all can hold me to it because I just said it. I didn't plan to say this, but I just said it, and now I have to be Mythic.
All right, Maria, you're in Platinum right now, correct?
Yes, I'm in Platinum 2. Platinum 2.
Wow. All right, you're in Platinum 2. So, and it's only the 11th. Like, you've got 20 days.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous I made this claim.
You did it, though. You did it. And now you're committed.
I'm committed.
I'm so excited for you.
Okay, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you all updated on my Maria's Mythic Month, and we'll see what happens. But to know what I'm playing and why I think it is the best deck in Standard right now, you'll have to stick around for that segment. But we've also got another cool topic we're going to dive into, Meghan.
That's right. We're going to talk about companions. It is the hot topic.
Oh, yeah.
But not the store hot topic of the moment.
I honestly wish that you could have a companion that was Hot Topic and it was just like a pair of Doc Martens with flames on them.
Yes. Oh, Maria, you have to go to the Doc Martens store for those.
Well, okay, they weren't Doc Martens. They were knockoff whatever brand, but I definitely wore them all through high school, and they were definitely from Hot Topic.
I currently have a pair of Doc Martens that I got at the Doc Martens store. I really like them.
Describe them. Oh, yeah, they're the flower ones.
Yeah, they're like brown. They're brown with pink flowers on them.
Great.
They're great.
Great.
They're really
A+.
good.
But I mean,
Anyways.
like, Hot Topic, home to many hot hits from my high school days.
Oh.
Care Bear t-shirts.
And do you know what? Still going strong. If you want some niche culture, like, you know, of the moment stuff, it's the place to go.
You know what? We're not
this
sponsored.
This podcast is not brought to you by Hot Topic.
But please call us Hot Topic. Please call us. I'm going to their website right now to kind of like see what they have.
I was going to say, are you going to like see if they have a place that's like sponsorships?
Oh my gosh. You can buy like, I shouldn't keep going, but you can buy a million different pop culture things from them right now, including like Animal Crossing stuff.
Yeah, like exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was looking for a Yuri on Ice like gift for a friend, and that was the place that I went.
There you go. Hot Topic.
It's we should stop and thank our actual sponsors.
We really should. But you know, if you have a great Hot Topic buy from years past, please tweet at us with the hashtag
Hot Topic Take.
Yeah. That's it. Hot Topic Take.
Oh boy.
Speaking of people who actually sponsor the show, that's you.
Yes. And do you know what? We like you more than any hot topic out there.
It's so true. We really do. We really do.
We think that you're the hottest topic.
You are the hottest topic.
Yeah, because your support means the world to us. And unlike the store hot topic, you are actually keeping us on the air.
Yes, everybody who supports us is an integral member. It's like a pillar of support beam required to keep this house. I'm imagining a house next to the ocean that's on stilts so it doesn't get swept away, alive and kicking, even though those houses aren't alive, nor are they kicking. Standing, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You keep us standing every single week. Thank you to everybody who is a member, who's become a new member, who's remained a member for many, many months. You are the reason that this show can come to you every single week. And we actually have a pretty exciting development to share with you that we want to tell you about.
What a strange time to be sharing news.
I know, right? If you're a patron and you checked out our Patreon page, I put a little teaser in there so you're already aware of this. But just in case you haven't seen it already or you're not a patron, what happened is, this whole COVID thing, which is what I'm calling it for lack of a better
this whole COVID thing.
This whole COVID thing has been, nonstop, downer, bad, terrible, no good news for a long time now. And every day it's just like, you get depressed reading the news, all that kind of thing. So this is actually some good news for able to bring you to COVID. And in fact, actually, because of it, we have had we've had a great time in our current office space, which we dubbed Ravnica for the very first set that Meghan and I ever played. And we've been in that space for 2 years now. I mean, we're in our homes, but when we're not there, we're in our office space. But it just got to be a little too small for all the things that we wanted to do. And so we got a really amazing opportunity to enter a space in an artist building in town that we've been having our eyes on for quite a while, but it was really difficult to get in there. And I went and toured it and I saw it, socially safe, of course. And I was just like, this seems like an opportunity that we, is just kind of like too good to pass up at this time. And that wouldn't have visited us at any other time, really. So we jumped at the opportunity, said, hey, we're going to take this new office space and move forward with it. And if you want to see some pictures of it, you can head over to our Patreon. I'll put some pictures up, or you can watch the video version of this podcast, which always comes up on Thursdays on our YouTube channel. And you can see what it looks like. It's really beautiful. It's about 10 times the space of our current space, Meghan.
Like 20? I don't know.
It's huge. We'll have a great space for a podcasting area, a dedicated stream and editing suite room, and lots of other space to expand and do more awesome projects, because we'll just simply have the resources, the raw resources, which is room, to be able to do those things. And more details again on our Patreon page if you want more information about that. But when we moved into Ravnica, everybody was so wonderfully generous. We had a fundraising drive to help us with moving costs and all that kind of thing. And we had a wall of heroes. And so we decided that we wanted to do that this time again, just to give people the opportunity, if they wanted to help us out at this time, to be like, hey, we have a way for you to be able to help us. And we're going to do another wall of heroes names for people who want to help. Of course, we know this is a very difficult time. And you might already be a supporter on Patreon, which we thank you for every single week as well. So this is just there if you have the means and you want to help out and you want to get your name on the wall. It's not like we're going to look down on you if you don't do it. No.
Yeah.
It's just completely there if you want to help out. So we're going to start a fundraising campaign. We have different dollar amount levels, which will put, under your name, under these different categories. $15, your squirrel level, $25, gremlin level, $50, angel level, $100 rare, $250 mythic level, and $500 or more legendary level. And the way that you give is super easy. You just head over to paypal.me/GLHF magic and we will get your name on that wall.
That's right. For this office, it's got to be called Theros, right?
Yeah, it's Theros.
Yeah. Theros. Be a Theros hero.
Theros heroes. Yeah.
Yeah. And like Maria said, we know that it's a tough time. And so, yes, only if you are able, only if you are inspired to, hopefully if you see pictures of this beautiful space, you will be inspired to, because it's really amazing. And I'm very excited about all of the different stuff we're going to be able to do in there. And also the beautiful brick background that will be behind us when we're able to get in there someday.
Our new set is going to be record
in there someday.
Yeah, record in there someday. Our new set is going to be like, it's going to be the best set in Magic. I'm just saying, like, look out, World Championship. You're not going to have anything on this. Before we go on to our main portion of the show, we also got to thank our other sponsor, Card Kingdom, for continuing to be awesome during these tough times. You can support them by going to cardkingdom.com/GLHF, ordering whatever you need. They'll start fulfilling orders as soon as they are able. Supporting them in any way that you can, because they are continuing to support us even though they've had to partially shut down during these times. So just keep that in mind once things are back to normal.
Hot Topic has lots of different cultural of the moment stuff for you to buy, they haven't got what Card Kingdom's got when it comes to Magic.
That is right. You can't get sleeves at Hot Topic. Well, you can get sleeves on shirts.
You could probably get like arm sleeves that aren't attached to a shirt. I bet that you can get that there. Like that seems up their alley.
But card sleeves.
You have to go to Card Kingdom because they are excellent, and we also so appreciate them.
Yeah, check them out whenever you're able. That's cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Thanks for sticking around for a very long intro, everybody. We've got a banger of a show coming up for you in just a couple of seconds. Let's take a minute to peek into our magical diaries and find out what we've been playing recently and if we like it or not.
That's right. What name have you circled and put little hearts around in your magic diary, Maria? You're writing like Mrs. Maria Obosh.
Yeah, that is exactly what's happening. You all, I love Obosh the Prey Piercer so very, very, very much.
Your last name would be Prey Piercer.
Oh, you're right. Mrs. Maria Prey Piercer. Yeah, we played MASH, and I was just crossing my fingers, hoping that what was the category where you found who you're going to marry? Oh, the first one, Mary.
Yeah.
In MASH.
Yeah.
Wait, how did this work?
You had a whole bunch of companions under there that it could have been. You could have been like Karuga, Yorian, Obosh.
I'm so glad I got Obosh. Okay,
so
enough.
Match made in heaven.
Not telling you what deck this is. We talked about it a couple of times over the past couple of episodes, but now I want to be clear. I want to mark this down in cement. This deck is the real deal. It's mono black Obosh, and I think this deck is amazing in standard right now.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It is certainly excellent.
So in case you're not familiar, again, on the video, the deck list is going to be on your screen, but this is built around Obosh the Prey Piercer, which is a companion that says you can only have cards with odd converted mana costs in your deck because this deck's a little odd. And what it does is it plays all odd creatures, of course, and it can get in a lot of damage very quickly with little cards like Gutter Bones, the Guttery Buttery Boy, Knight of the Ebon Legion, which is one of my favorite vampires of all time, Serrated Scorpion, Whisper Squad, and then it plays a little bit bigger creatures in Hunted Nightmare, which is a 4/5 with Menace, and Rotting Regisaur, which is a 7/6 Dino. But I think the real key to this deck is not only the diversity in the creature size, so you can't be flame swept because you've got Hunted Nightmare and Rotting Regisaur at your availability, but also because of the hand disruption that it plays in Drill Bit and Duress, which it plays in the main deck. And these cards are so great in the main right now because think of the decks that want to win by having one big bomb in their hand.
Yeah. And Drill Bit isn't just it's anything.
Yeah, it's anything.
It's any non-land.
Any non-land, so you can take creatures with Drill Bit, and the great thing is you play your Gutter Bones or whatever on turn one, you swing in, and then you can cast your Drill Bit for just a single black mana because of the spectacle cost, which is pretty cool. It also has 4 copies of Castle Locthwain in it, so it's able to draw cards in the late game, and I've definitely gotten out of some sticky situations thanks to Castle Locthwain. 1 Mobilized District, which is a land which can turn into a 3/3, which also helps me out in a number of games. And of course, Heraldic Banner, which gives +1/+0 to all of your black creatures and ramps you into Obosh as well. I think this deck is fantastic. It just has what it takes on a number of different levels between the hand disruption and the aggression. Plus, the sideboard gives you a lot of really great options that don't care about Obosh. Like sometimes in deck sideboards, they have to take out their companion because of the cards they're putting in. Not the case. Cry of the Carnarium is incredible versus the Boros cycling decks or the mono red Obosh decks. You can just kill all of their creatures. You can put in more murderous riders. This plays a couple of those in the main and a couple in the sideboard. Anyway, I just think that this deck's literal only bad matchup that I personally have run into is the Obosh Sacrifice deck. But that's kind of going down in popularity right now. So I think this deck is the deck to play on the ladder. And I'm telling you, even though I'm trying to hit Mythic and I should keep my secrets.
Yeah, I agree. So like I said, Maria yesterday messaged me and was like, this is it. And I was like, okay, do you know what? I have basically all these cards. Like, I'll throw it together and try it. I played against a couple of the Mutate decks first, which the matchup was good. They're just not fast enough.
Great.
And then I did play against a bunch of Loris Sacrifice decks. That matchup is quite bad.
Yeah.
I would go so far as to say I think it is nearly unwinnable.
I have beaten it one time, so I don't know how many times I played it, but
it is a real nightmare.
It's real bad.
But yeah, and then I played against a couple of Yorion decks, and it's just like, and I played against a Garuda too. And like all of those ones, they get to a point where they're like, maybe I'll have enough blockers. But usually at that point, you're like, okay, I just hit 5. I can cast Obosh. And like, they're at like 7. You only need 1 or 2 things to get through when you have an Obosh in play.
Exactly.
It's just so good.
All of your creatures are getting double damage in. So even your little Whisper squads, you've probably got a Heraldic Banner or 2 out. You're hitting for like sometimes.
And we've talked
6.
about this, like Whisper Squad. You're like, what is this? What is this 1/1 for 1 doing in standard? But I've certainly won games by being like, well, I have 1 in play and I just have enough mana. Like, I'll go get 2 more.
Exactly. And like it makes their if they have spot removal so terrible too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's not my style of deck. That being said, as someone who was being very frustrated by the number of times I was playing against Yorion and not wanting to go down the Yorion path, I did find a lot of satisfaction playing it yesterday.
This is what I'm saying. Everybody out there, who's not listening to this show, keep playing your Yorions all day long, baby, because we got no problem.
Maria is coming for you.
I am coming for you.
That's right.
Love this deck. Originally popularized by Aaron Barrich, and Eric Froelich played it in a Magic Online season finals, weekly championship a week or 2 ago, and that's what kind of brought it to my attention. So yeah, I'm all in on this deck. There is a mono red version of Obosh. I think this is better than that.
Yeah. There were 2 copies of the mono red though in the top 8 of the Magic Fest Online Season Championship.
That's right. One in the hands of Simon Gertzen, coverage friend of ours. Congrats to Simon. But yeah, the deck that took that tournament down was Teamer Clover, Teamer Adventure, which is a blast from the past a little bit. But I don't know how this deck fares against that because I have not played against it. Yeah. It's
certainly the hot debate of the moment of like what deck can consistently beat Yorion.
Yeah.
And so I've definitely been very interested in watching people debate that out online.
When we secretly know the answer. Is there any thing that you've been playing that you want to put in your diary entry here, Megan?
I will just say that I have finally started winning drafts. I think I talked about it on here. I was just having a very bad time. I was losing a lot, and I've finally turned the corner, and am now like in the upper reaches of platinum, in my draft queue.
Great.
So that's nice, and I'm finally winning. And what has been making the difference? I don't know. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I had the draft, like my internet cut out in the middle of a draft, which to be fair, I was already feeling very good about. It was like a mostly mono black Umori deck.
Sick.
That had like multiple copies of Zagoth Mamba, the little 1/1 that when you mutate onto it gives something -2/-2.
Oh yeah.
So I had like that mutate heavy deck, which was like the first one where even though I ended up with auto picks from like the end of pack 2 through the beginning of pack 3, I went 7-2 with it.
Did it pick you black cards?
No, it picked me a bunch of rares I could not play.
I was like, has it gotten that smart?
No, it picked me 2 different kinds of ultimatum.
Oh well.
that were neither one was black. Anyway, so that was like a black-green deck, and I did really like it. And I think that like that was the first time I've played around with some of the mutate cards that I don't touch all that often.
Yeah.
Like the 4/4 that when it mutates just makes your opponent discard, and has menace. The 3/3 that like they lose X and you gain X, where X is the number of times that it's mutated. I just had like a stack of mutate cards. And like it turns out that if you do it enough times, it's just quite good.
How much did you drain them for with that? What was it, Hierophage or something like that?
Yeah. There were times when because I had multiple copies of it. And so it's like you play one on top of it and it's like your third mutate. So you drain them and then you play another one on top of that. So like I drained people for a lot. I definitely won games by draining my opponent out. So, and then yesterday, my internet cut out again.
Oh, Megan.
Comcast can bite me.
You know what? Monopolies are maybe great for Hasbro, but they're just not good for us in real life.
It is really not good for us. It's a real nightmare. Anyways, I have not played that one yet. I don't think it's going to turn out as well as my other auto pick one, because this one I got auto picks for the entirety of pack 3. I'm talking about like pick 1 through the last pick of the pack, entirely auto picked, and I don't know what it is.
Sad.
So we'll see how that one goes.
Well, if you've had a deck that you've had a lot of success with in standard or in draft or another format, please tweet it at us. We love seeing your spicy brews. People have been sending us really cool pictures at GLHF Magic, and let us know what you've been playing. And share the goodness. Share the goodness.
Yeah.
I'll keep you up to date on my Mythic Month. Already feeling that barreling down at me, breathing down my neck.
Maria, it's only the 11th. Time has no meaning, but it's the 11th.
Okay. Great. Well, everybody, it's time for us to dive into a really big topic that we haven't really taken too much time to talk about, at least in the depth and breadth that we're going to in this episode, and that is companions.
Everyone else has taken the time to talk about it.
Yeah, they really have. It's been on the lips of Twitter, which is a gross image that I just am really sorry I put out into the world. Companions.
They are causing trouble right and left. Oh, sorry. I had to look away because my cat is like on this chair next to me and she's so cute.
Oh, that's worth it. That is worth it.
Painful to me how cute she is.
Have you read an article that's like, if something is really cute, you might have the impulse to like destroy it? And that is...
Yes, I understand that.
But like, why? It seems like such a strange.
I just want to squish her because she's so cute.
I just want to eat her face.
Exactly.
Sounds creepy. Like, why am I going there?
No, it really does. But I want to hug her so hard.
Yeah, me too. Hi, Molly.
Oh, she's so cute.
Molly would make a great companion.
She is an A+ companion. I'm like trying to show you all, but it's like not
look,
working out. There she is. Isn't she so cute?
She's so cute.
Oh my God.
So anyways. I feel like we've said on the show before that we are like here for the creativity that companion brought, like the idea behind it.
Yes. And I think that one thing that has certainly come up a lot as people have been talking about this is, were those restrictions enough? And comma no. Were they enough, comma we think no? Question mark?
Yeah, I think it's pretty well agreed upon that some of these restrictions were not in fact restrictions at all.
No. The fact that everyone, like with Yorian, people were just like, yep, YOLO, 80 cards.
YOLO, who cares? 80.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People used to bite each other's heads off if someone would play like 61.
Yeah, I
and they're
know.
like, how dare you? What are you thinking? That is just obviously wrong.
And 80 is the new 60 now, so.
And 80 is the new 60. I think I saw a tweet from, I want to say maybe Matt Sperling, who was like, hey, what if like maybe Yorion's gonna be like goodbye someday, or like companions in general will be like adios. But what if the result of this was that the minimum for standard was bumped from 60 to 80?
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
Because people seemed like pretty okay with adapting to it.
They really did. Yorion, like we were crying, I think last episode, we're like, what is this card's weaknesses? What is this deck's weaknesses? How is it so consistent even though it's running 20 more cards than it should?
Well, yeah.
There's just enough options.
Again, like, there's so much. Again, there's been so much talk about companions. I keep being like, and one of the things that people keep saying, because there are a lot of things that people keep saying,
oh yeah,
is that companions just make for like very repetitive games of Magic.
Yeah,
because you can always cast them. Like they will always come up in a game.
They're always in your starting hand, and they can never be disrupted through something like a drill bit because
they're not in your hand.
They're in the weird command zone area. So yeah, or whatever you want to call it. Those are the issues. And I think like people have said, this was an interesting question to me too. Like for Yorion, for example, potentially the biggest offender, who knows? What should the limit have been? Should it have been 100? I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild and would have been cool because then it would have mirrored Commander, which these are trying to do anyway, I believe. But I don't know, a card like Luris, what would I have done with that?
Yeah, I don't know. And people have been like, Luris is especially offensive. Offensive for like for older formats where like people are just like 3 CMC is just an absurd
like it just doesn't
cost to pay. Exactly. Everyone's just like, well, we're already doing this anyways. I don't know. Yeah,
exactly. I think so. All of these questions, like some of them, they're not played. Yeah. Like you don't see Lutri, you don't see Zerda, you don't really see Gigantha, but you do see Kahira, you do see Karuga, you do see Obosh, you do see Amor, you do see Yorion. So like more often than not, these have proven themselves just to be too ding dang good. This was an interesting question.
I know contextually you must have said ding dang good, but I heard ding ding good, which just sounds like you're talking nonsense.
These are ding ding good.
Like, what does that mean?
Oh man, I am gonna digress here for a second to tell you about a great TikTok I saw the other day, which was somebody speaking in French, and they were doing different sentences in French. Like
I have seen this,
and it just sounds like complete and utter nonsense.
Because it was like using Google Translate, right?
Yeah,
where it was just like, and they would find a bunch of words that mean completely different things, but that all sound the same in French.
Oh, so good. My favorite was the one that was like, meh, 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 meh.
Yes.
That's a real sentence in French. There is one in Welsh too, which is uddy to DVD into DD. That's a real sentence. In Welsh. Okay. That's the only one I know of in Welsh though. But the French one's very funny.
Yes, it was.
Not sure how we got
very,
here.
very funny. Wow, ding ding good.
Oh yeah, these are so ding ding good. But this is another question that I thought was interesting about them, which was if these companions had like some ability, who knows what, but they were just like, or maybe they didn't. What if they were just 1/1s and they were your companion? Would you play them?
And people were like, yeah, I would still do it.
Yep, get in my hand. 8 cards is just too good, just too good. Like a 1/1 for 8, we should say. It was not like a 1/1 for 1.
But no, like a 1/1 for 7, they're like, yeah, I would just play it.
Just play it.
Just play it. It's better than not starting your game with 8 cards.
Exactly.
One of which can never be like made to be discarded.
I think we're still kind of like waiting because a lot of people are like, ban, to see what happens. I think the fact that Teamer Clover won this past weekend season championship for the Magic Fest Online tournaments is a sign that's like, hey, well, these can be beaten. I just talked an hour about Obosh, even though that's a companion. It's not Yorion.
It's true. And there were 2 Yorion decks in the top 8 of the Magic Fest weekly or season championship this past weekend. And then there were 2 Obosh decks. Right?
Yep.
I guess.
Yep. 2 mono red Obosh.
Yeah. And then like the other ones were like Boro Cycling,
Team of Reclamation.
Team of Rec.
I think that's it.
Wait, 2? Okay, 2 Yorian, 2 Obosh, 2 Cycling,
Yep.
2.
Are we missing one?
Team of Rec we have to be. Oh,
Yep,
and the adventure one. Duh. Okay.
Yeah, and the adventure one that won. Yeah.
Yes.
So you know, there's ways, I guess.
Yeah, and like out of 8, 4 like half had companions.
Okay.
So I guess, and what's interesting to me about this debate is that it's true that it isn't solely about are they overpowered, like are they dominating standings, are they dominating tournaments, but also this argument of like, oh, are games of Magic just not fun because they feel too much the same while this is happening?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do think that they lead to games feeling all very much the same. Yeah. I'm on a black deck. Like I know exactly what kind of opening hand I should have every single time, especially versus whatever whatever companion they have up.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, also, like we said, we were even talking about it, that you know that like almost always on 5, you just play Obosh.
Yep.
Obosh. Like, so what is your game? Like, exactly, how much variation can you truly have in games if on turn 5 your opponent is always playing the same card?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of a little bit less of an issue for me rather than the fact that I know what I want in my opening hand. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would argue that you should. Oh, wait, you mean against your opponent?
Yes.
I mean, that's. But like, if you're working in a tournament setting that has like open deck lists, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like true. Kind of the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
would argue
get
that's
samey.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I haven't had fun games with these, because I definitely have. But.
Exactly. Like, I still have had fun, but also, yeah, it also. I think hints at what we don't always talk about, but is certainly in the background of a lot of discussions, which is like the difference in experience between people who are more pro players, who are playing a lot more games, versus people like us who are probably on the high volume end of casual players.
Yes. In
terms of the number of games that we've been playing, where we're still at a point where we're like, hey, even with this volume of matches that we're playing, we're still having a good time. Whereas it seems, apparent from the discourse between pro players that they're just like, oh, we're not having fun with this.
Yeah, this is just too much the same over our volume of games.
Yeah, and so part of that then like begs the question. It's like, okay, if 100 players are dissatisfied, but then thousands of players are like, this is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's as multifaceted as a diamond, which is also bad. This
whole discussion prompted something pretty interesting from Eric Froelich, pro player, replying to a tweet from Mark Rosewater. So Mark Rosewater, head of R&D, he knows this is all going on. He knows people are talking about this. He knows a lot of people think companions are a mistake. And he tweeted, "Inquiring minds want to know, while R&D tries to support innovation and balance, the two often fight with each other. Which of the two do you personally believe R&D should prioritize, innovation or balance?" And Eric Froelich wrote a big open letter to Mark Rosewater, which we can link in the show notes of this. But basically he's saying that this question is sad. Like,
excuse me. First answer, your question is sad.
No, he means that.
Yeah.
Poor Mark. Like, why do we have to choose?
Yeah, and I would say, like, especially when I think of Mark Rosewater, I think of someone who is just like, you're talking about someone who is responsible for so much innovation in Magic. And that's what you want him to be there for. It's like, hey, you're the head designer. That doesn't mean you can do every single job. Like,
right.
No, as the head designer, you should be pushing the envelope in all of the cool ways that we've seen him push the envelope. And like when we've had him on the show in the past, when he talks about all of like the ideas that he has to like fight for and wants to like push into Magic.
Like Throneville Drain, for example.
Exactly. Like that's his role. And it's very valid to be like, hey, you don't need to be responsible for every aspect of this pie. You're just making the filling, and someone else needs to make the crust. That's
Eric
not how making a
Froelic's
pie works.
Eric Froelic's tweet in response to that initial question from Mark was, not enough characters to go deep into this, but you need to have both, and you need to have a lot of both. You need your game not to be chess to sell product and to get new players, but you also need your game to be fully functioning, to be playable, and to keep people playing. These are different axes. Which Mark replied, I'm the innovation guy. The only way I can help balance is by pushing less into less explored space. I'm trying to get a sense from the audience what it is they want. I put companions into Ikoria. Was I wrong to do so?
Yeah, and I feel like someone needs to be like, no, obviously you're not wrong.
No.
Like you were like, hey, here's a wild idea. Let's try it. And it needed to be someone else's job to be like, oh, hey, there's like something overpowered about this.
Yeah, I agree. Mark continued the conversation by saying, my larger question for today is, should companions have been made and banned appropriately in the necessary formats or never have been made at all? Should the unhappiness it creates for some mean others should never have gotten happiness from it? It's a very serious question. And we're like, yeah, yeah, you be creative. That's your job. You do that.
Be
It's somebody
creative.
else's job to make sure that it works.
So much cool stuff that we'd never see in Magic if you were never creative. I'm sorry, I had to pause and take a photo of my cat. Like, look at this. She put her little paw in front of her face.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't that so cute?
What would her companion ability be?
Oh my goodness. Her companion ability is that when she ETBs, she fights another creature.
Yeah, that is it.
Because she does not like other animals at all. She likes people, but like other dogs, she so much as smells another animal that has been around our apartment building, she will hiss at the smell.
Oh,
It makes her so mad. So yeah, she an ETB fight cat.
But yeah, I think that like we came to the same kind of conclusion that Eric did in this article that he wrote. He said, I was under the impression that play design was put together for the reason of balancing the format. This allows creative to remain creative while making sure things aren't powered too far as to potentially greatly damage Magic. So yeah, like play design and the play testing team hasn't always been a thing at Wizards of the Coast.
And I feel like right now they are just overworked.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they are, they get put into testing all of these products, right? Like the Commander stuff that comes out every year, like everything that comes out, they're testing. And it's like, you don't have enough people for that. It doesn't seem like.
I agree. This team used to be like 2 people who were also doing other jobs, and then they would have to come in and test for all of the formats or whatever. But now, thankfully, they've expanded their team to more people who it's their full-time job to do this. But like you said, they still got to test all the supplemental product. They still got to make sure draft is balanced. And now there's also standard, and like they say they don't test for legacy formats like modern or whatever, but they've got to have it in the back of their mind.
But, and like, what if they did?
And
also,
what if
they had more people and so they just could?
I think it's the number one investment Magic could, now that we have Arena, it is the number one investment Magic could make in itself for the future of the game, making sure it stays around for another 25 years, is having a team that can correct this stuff before it goes out into the public, and having a team like Mark be creative and have these ideas and say, ooh, I love your commander ideas here or companion ideas, but here's the thing, they're a little too good. With some tweaks, we can make a few of them possible.
Yes.
Like that.
Yep, exactly. And I think that like you mentioned, I would be interested to see what had happened, right? With everyone talking about like, oh, hey, if you had different restrictions on companion or stuff like that, like if someone had come in and been like, oh, hey, Yorion is too powerful, you just need to cut this card. Yeah. This can't be in the set. And they were like, okay, like if Yorion and Umori and like even to some extent Karuga just like weren't in the family and Loris weren't in the set.
Yeah.
Right? Like, are companions truly good enough that then we would have seen a format built around like Gigantha and cards like that, which we haven't seen as companions?
Right.
Or would it have been stuff like, oh yeah, like Gigantha's payoff isn't good enough for what its ability is, and we don't get to know that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because as much as people are like, oh, this companion ability of being in your hand at the start is too good, it would always use it. It's like, well, people aren't using, Gigantha. Are you telling me that they would have if the other better ones weren't available?
Great question. I have no idea.
Exactly. Me neither.
It's a really interesting question. It is too bad that we well know the answer to that question, at least as Magic stands right now. And it does make me sad that, our deck building has not gotten more creative. It's in fact gotten less creative because of these cards, despite the fact that I do really think sometimes restrictions breed creativity. It's just not the case here. I
mean, I don't know. It depends on what you mean by quote creative, I guess. Right.
I guess more diversity in decks. I don't know.
Yeah. Cause I do think I think it's creative that people were just like, yeah, YOLO 80 cards. Yeah.
But once they got to that point, then the creativity kind of took a little bit of a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, we're just arguing here for whoever makes the decision with the money bags to be like, put your money where your game is, and where the game is making a great format. And even if you're like, most of our players don't even play standard, it doesn't matter. What that is your premier format of your game, and it spills over into all other formats for all time. Both the attitude people have surrounding the game, the feeling they have when a new product comes out, knowing that it'll provide a good environment for play, your professional scene, your marquee tournaments, all these kinds of things. It is an ecosystem on which everything thrives off of everything else, and having the investment in a solid standard at all points, I think, is one that should be at the top of their list.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
and by all means,
get more people in there.
Get more people in there. Hire more people, and please do not be
more.
like, we can't be less creative, because that is not the solution. That is not
absolutely.
the solution.
What was it? Oh, I was gonna be like, who do you think has the money bags at Hasbro? Do you think it's Miss Monopoly?
Miss Monopoly has a lot of money. She's got a lot of sick patents. So
yes, if you have not seen the ad for Miss Monopoly that was making the rounds on Twitter the other day, you should probably watch it, but also be prepared to throw up. Just have a barf bucket ready, because that's certainly how I felt.
It was shocking.
It was. I mean, I didn't know how to feel.
Yeah. But I think this is one of the cool things about Magic is the fact that I know Wizards of the Coast is listening, not literally to our show,
not
but
to
I mean,
us, but they have their fingers on the pulse and are attempting to take the pulse, and sometimes they can find it, and sometimes they aren't quite on it.
Yeah, many,
but they're certainly trying, and that means a lot.
That's true. So make your voice heard.
This draft format is so good.
I agree.
It's just I can't even explain how much I enjoy drafting Ikoria, but my enjoyment of it, I can't imagine liking it more.
I know it's excellent, and I'm so happy that they've made a great format that people have been just having a ton of fun with.
Yes.
And
I think it was even, now that we mentioned Simon Gertzen, having been in the top 8 this past weekend, I remember him tweeting sometime last week, I think, that was just prep for the tournament, prep for the season championship is going well. And it was him ranked mythic and limited and bronze. It was bronze 4, exclamation point, you have played no matches for standard on his Arena account.
Great. And he still can top 8 season championship.
Yep, exactly.
Well, everybody, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for another week. Remember to check out the Upkeep if you want an update on all the Magic news. That episode comes out every Monday anywhere you get your podcasts. So listen to them as they're companions to each other. See what I did there? See what I did there?
Get out. Get out.
Get out of my house. I can't. I'm literally trapped.
It's true.
But yeah, thank you to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/GLHF Magic and anybody who visits cardkingdom.com/GLHF and supports them as well in this time. They're an amazing sponsor. And thank you to anybody who chooses to donate to help us move into our new office space, Theros, over on PayPal. The link there is paypal.me/GLHF Magic. We're working on getting other ways to pay too, but if that's easy enough for you, you can use that link and get your name up on our wall of Theros heroes. We would love to see your name there if you are willing and able to donate at this time.
The sign should say Gods of Theros.
It should! Okay, Gods of Theros. I love that.
Yay!
I love that.
Gosh, what was it? Oh, hey, if you're looking for other Magic content, there is now a bunch of weekly Magic esports content, which we are a part of some of it. Maria is part of the Advantage Bar every Friday.
Yes, you can check out this show over on Wizards Magic the Gathering YouTube page. Advantage Bar, me and Riley host a show where we talk about basically the state of competitive Magic every single week. And for the last couple of weeks, that's meant looking at Standard and what the top decks are, what decks we think can beat those decks. And then we've got experts like Cedric Phillips, Corey Baumeister, and Corbin Hostler. And we basically argue with each other a lot about what's best, what's good, what's bad, and why. It's kind of like an ESPN roundtable show. As much as you can do via Zoom.
Yes.
But it's a really good show if you want to keep up to date on what's happening in competitive Magic and in Standard specifically the past couple of weeks. It's a really good way to stay on top of all of that and get some good deck ideas too. But Megan, if watching a program for... What? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the one ESPN roundtable show I ever watched, because my friend was watching it, Lil Wayne was on it. To talk about football. And
we'll see if we can get Lil Wayne.
I thought that was what ESPN roundtables were all the time, but it turns out I'm wrong. Like they usually don't have Lil Wayne on them just randomly.
Well, maybe it's what they should be.
Anyways, I agree. They should be. I was massively entertained.
But yeah, if like watching a half-hour program is not your cup of tea, Megan's got you covered with writing for the Magic Minute, which happens every Tuesday through Friday.
That's right. You can get it over on the Magic Esports, or just like the Wizards Magic Instagram, or on the Magic Esports Twitter. It is, as its name says, simply 1 minute long. Becca Scott narrates it, and I'm writing the script on it, and it's just sort of like a little snapshot of what's going on in the Magic world, Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah, I think this is great. To have this variety of shows. There's not only these two, there's also an interview show with Rich Hagan called The Profiles. There's a show about Limited, hosted by Marshall, of course, called Outside Notes.
I just got that pun. Ugh. I'm
Which
so
one?
mad. The Profiles. Profiles. It's like a profile of a person, but also it's called the pro space files, like the X-Files.
Oh my God, Megan, I did not get that pun until you said it. Rich Hagan has beat us all. Rich! Oh my God.
Well,
and
rip us.
You can watch a show with Cool Brews that comes out with Paul Cheon and Alias. That talks about all these cool new brews and brewing around weird cards in different formats. That's also on the YouTube page. Yeah, so like tons of new content, and props to Wizards for putting out these shows during a tough time, keeping everybody connected as to what's going on in the Magic community and helping out casters during this time too. So big thumbs up to them for doing that, because they definitely didn't have to, and I think it was a great move by them. So check out those shows, please, and let us know what you think. You can tweet at us as always at GLHF Magic.
Yep, with the hashtag ding ding good.
Well, we hope the rest of your week is ding ding good.
Yep, we really hope that it is.